it all on my own. Turn a chair to a throne. I'm a king and it's why I start hard. I put my whole city on.
You are now tuned into First Round by.
If I did start hard. And every night is a premiere. If I ever disappear, best believe I'm coming back. Start hard.
With your hosts, Justice General Radford, host of the Justice for All podcast, Jake Jordan, host of The Lowdown with Jake Jordan.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to First Round By. We are your favorite Friday night guys under the Friday night lights, and it is Friday night. Thank God it's Friday. So we got a great show for you guys tonight. We're doing AFC East AFC East positional power rankings, right? And so we're going to get into that. And we got a special guest tonight. But first, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce you to your host. I, of course, am Justice General. That is my man right there. That's Jake Jordan. That's the man, the myth. Look, listen, guys, listen. We got so much stuff planned for y'all. Like on top of like becoming broadcasters, legitimately, like we're like doing it in the off season. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it got so much love and support. So thank you guys for that as well. But this man is putting some major stuff into production. So my man, I look, man, you just make life easy, bro. Jake Jordan, what's going on, Jake? How you doing tonight, bro?
I'm doing good, Justice. Of course, I am away from my cave, so it's a little bit weird. I'm sitting in this much nicer chair, but no, getting to do broadcasting stuff, it's building the repertoire. It's more things, and it's a compliment when people tell you they'd rather listen to you than Troy Aikman and Joe Buck.
Exactly, absolutely. And we also have a guest here, our favorite guest, of course, the professional guest, as he calls himself, Mr. Charlie Gross, of course, host of the Humble and Hungry podcast, and also shout out to Coach Boom. The gang's all here, and Coach you part of the gang. So appreciate your love and support as always, man. You are the best. And of course, I'm sorry, Charlie is the owner of 12 Squared and TTP Analytics. So, you gotta get your football calculators out when you're talking to Charlie, because he don't play in these streets. What's going on, Charlie?
I'm doing good. It's nice to be here again with you gentlemen. And yeah, I had told you guys actually off air that maybe I was the mascot, but yes, I will take I will take the very frequent and special guest instead. Always a pleasure to talk with you guys and Coach Boom in the chat. I'm sure there's other people in the chat as well. So hello to everybody there, and then I'm excited to talk about how the New England Patriots seem to be terrible on defense. As well as offense from last year.
Listen, they may seem to be terrible, but maybe they seem to be terrible a lot of times, and they be clamping. I mean, not versus like us or good teams.
You're right. I honestly, I think there's one thing that they can really do, to get better, because last time we really thought they were down. They got to bring Matt Castle back, man. 10-6 with Matt Castle. 2008, he's the magic man.
That's going to put him over the edge.
Yeah, exactly.
10-6 with the same roster that Tom Brady just
why am I Mr. Controversy? What, man?
See,
Charlie, no matter how many times you try to lay low, man, people are just going to sit there and just keep calling you that.
Yeah, man, and I was taking shots the other day on Twitter like I didn't even do anything. Man.
I think I got more shots thrown at me yesterday for my damn poll that I put up than
that was hilarious.
Anybody else.
And Jay, I saw that original tweet.
So
I saw that.
Oh, you did?
I did.
You did?
I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it because I don't want to get you in trouble, but I did see it.
Mhm. Okay, so yeah, I had to put the poll out there because I saw, and for anybody who did see it, we will get into the defensive position battles, I promise. But I
I
saw
see some of those shots
that
already.
obviously Ryan Fitzpatrick retired, and
Yes.
happy for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Shout out
Hell
to
of a
Ryan.
career.
My man.
Probably the greatest journeyman quarterback of all time. And I saw somebody say we need to put him on the Wall of Fame, and that immediately like floored me. I'm like, okay. And then somebody under it said Tyrod Taylor deserves to be on the Wall of Fame more than Fitz.
Bro.
And in my mind, that then made me go, well, it's time to make a poll. I got to see what the people think. And I didn't put a neither option on there because that wouldn't be fun.
Yeah.
So
It would just be 89% neither, and nobody would have had any engagement.
Exactly. So I'm like, and the question wasn't who should be put on the Wall of Fame because neither should be on the Wall of Fame, but who would deserve it more.
Right. Like neither one of them is really a Wall of Fame player, but if you had to pick one, I get what you're saying.
So who would deserve it more? And that was quite a hell of an experiment, almost 1,000 votes. I don't know. I haven't checked it today. So, but
well, I see it's got it's 1,000 votes.
Okay, yeah.
Basically,
so 1,000 people.
Jake I don't even get
majority of people saying Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I mean, we can argue about that till the cows come home, but there was a lot of unnecessary hate being slang and
bro. I was like, what is this? I was like, why is people going so hard at Tyrod, but they not talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick and him getting his money and then absolutely crapping on, you know what I mean? Like, I love Ryan Fitzpatrick, so I ain't here to like slander him, but like Tyrod gave us his all and had like his main weapons taken away from him in his final year. He was neutered basically, and then he still found a way to make the playoffs. I mean, of course it was LaShawn McCoy whose team. I'm not saying it wasn't. It was absolutely LaShawn McCoy. It was like, as far as the great defense, and then LaShawn McCoy was like 65% of the offensive reason we went anywhere. And then I would say Tyrod was like maybe 15 to 20. I'm not gonna lie, because his legs also. I'm sorry.
I
see the no fun police jumped in here.
Here's
that's all I'll say about that.
I just don't like, because Tyrod was one of the best quarterbacks in Bills history. He's definitely top 10, probably. Maybe
they're probably both top 10.
They're definitely both top 10 because there's a lot of trash in there.
I think Tyrod would be in that top 5 range.
Here's what I'll look, to me, if Tyrod Taylor could stay healthier. And if the coaches didn't neuter him, he's like mini Josh Allen. Like, that guy was running around like crazy. He did great with deep throws. It's just that they like pounded into him like, don't turn the ball over. Don't. And all of a sudden he began putting the check down and got hurt.
Just look what he did for Houston when he was playing last year. Like, when he was throwing it down the field, it really just made it look like it was like, oh, this is the kind of quarterback that Tyrod Taylor can be. And that offense that year was, I mean, it was putrid, really. They weren't really going up there doing much with anybody. That defense was really carrying, and they were a really good rushing team.
Yeah, but they're different quarter. Here's what I'll say. I'll say if Tyrod could stay healthy, and if he was, like if they treated him the way they treat Josh, bro, just throw it. Yeah. Like I think that even though they're different quarterbacks,
just throw it, man.
And they play like. The Chan Gailey system was like perfect for Fitz. That system's not perfect for Tyrod, but I think if they each were in systems, I think they'd be like equal, just in different ways. You know what I mean? Like I think they would be similar success, just in different systems. So I kind of look at them as.
I feel like if Tyrod. Now here's the thing. Now, Tyrod is like a 5th round pick or something crazy like that. Like, he came to Buffalo, he got an opportunity, and he happened to be way more talented than EJ Manuel and who was it, Matt Castle, right? So he
I
got an
think so, yeah.
opportunity to start. He was never actually given a chance. He was just so much more talented than those guys. They were like, well, we would be stupid not to make this guy our quarterback, right? But he was never actually given like a stable, you know what I'm saying, like offense that was built around his skill set to like, you know what I mean? Like if you took a rookie or a college guy who's in his senior season who had the exact same you know what I mean, like abilities of Tyrod Taylor, you would want that guy to to quarterback your football team.
If Tyrod Taylor was in college right now and he was 22 years old, he's a first-round pick.
Oh,
Thank
100%.
you. Thank you.
Just based
and
on
then they're going to build
his strong arm and his running
him.
ability. Right. And
exactly.
then somebody would,
and they're going to build around him, and then he's going
like,
to be successful.
Right. Like you've got to build around these guys. And even like Josh Rosen, and I understand Josh Rosen has all these limitations and everybody hates him. And maybe he's just not good at processing. But my whole thing is we don't know. Like he's only had like 7 games. So I understand that like when you get him in the whiteboard, and I heard this out of Miami, that like he just didn't have it. Okay, well, you've given him 7 games, like, and I know it's maybe unrealistic to have every guy be built around, but I feel like that's why these franchises are always changing coaches and changing quarterbacks, is because they don't have a plan. Like the Bills had a plan, right? McDermott comes in, does the best that he can. Obviously, they bring Bean in after that draft, and they didn't draft a quarterback then, just like the Giants, because hey, we need a whole year to scout quarterbacks. Then they take a whole year to scout a quarterback. Then they build. Like if every team did that,
well,
like
thank God every team can't
a lot
do
of teams
that.
would be like 7, 8, 9, 10 win teams.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, so my man, let's talk 716 Sports. Thank you, because I completely forgot about this. This is actually a pretty big deal, guys. Like, this isn't like just an anything thing. Like, this is a pretty big deal. So, Buffalo Bills signed Tavon Austin to a 1-year deal. Now, of course, Tavon Austin is a wide receiver / runner / gadget / fast man type of guy, right? So, he is essentially your Isaiah McKenzie sort of type of guy, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What do you think about that?
Go ahead, Jake.
Oh, sorry, you cut in out there for me, Justus. Tavon Austin, a one-year deal. Really, I think that he's brought in for more of his skills as a return man. Now, obviously, people have brought in the stats. I don't think he's really in here competing for anything more than to. Maybe this is guy everybody thinks he's going to be challenging for the gadget slot position. Maybe he's challenging what's his name? Taiwan Jones. Maybe he's pressuring that guy because he would have more of an impact on special teams, because we need somebody who has kick return experience. Maybe he's pushing Marquez Stevenson, who I'm still going to push for, because I hope that the signed rookie card that I have of him explodes in monetary value, but it probably won't. But I don't think this is that. Bro. I don't think this is as serious as maybe a lot of people think. I think that Tavon Austin, this is a guy that they bring in for competition going into camp, and he's going to push some guys that maybe this is where you get your Marquez Stevensons or your Taiwan Jones. Those guys, maybe they don't make the cut, and Tavon Austin comes in because he would solidify maybe another position that we have a question mark at, which is returner.
Okay, so herein lies the question. Is there a better player on the roster right now that you would want back there receiving kicks than Tavon Austin?
No. I mean, I wouldn't say that. What just from the sample size, I forget who, I think Hansel posted them. Austin, just based on the number of returns that he's had and muffs and fumbles or whatever, the ratio is so much better for him. He is a more reliable return man than Isaiah McKenzie has been in the short time we have been asking him to do that, and when he was doing it with Denver. And Marquez Stevenson, again, didn't show me anything last year that really makes me go, that guy's going to be the guy who does it. So I think
You
this
can
is
sneak him back on the practice squad, to be honest.
yeah, it exactly. So when I see Tavon Austin get signed, this is more of like a you sign this guy so that you don't have the question mark there. Kind of like when you draft Matt Hawk. Are you like
or Matt Reza, but I know exactly what you meant.
yeah. Matt Araiza. Yeah,
That
like
was a
you
great point,
draft it,
yeah.
and it's just kind of like it's not the most important question mark, but why not just fill it in, man?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great point, Jake. Charlie, what do you think about the Tavon Austin signing? And I gotta admit, guys, I looked this up his age, right? And I was like, wow, 31. This guy's old.
Yeah.
And I saw that his birthday was 91, and I got really sad, right? I was like, oh shit. No, but he when he ran the combine, which was like a while ago, obviously, but he ran a 4.34. So I mean, the boy is fast. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about the signing, Charlie?
Yeah. Well, first I can understand.
Yeah.
Now, maybe he doesn't get drafted 8th overall, right? Like nowadays,
No, I'm sorry.
but
Go ahead. Charlie.
they like if you look at his highlights, right, from college, like I looked up some of those, I'm like, oh my God. Like I didn't like jeez, man. He had like 600 yards in a game once, and he's just like running by people. Like and I think I don't know if he's just a camp body. I mean, this is a guy who is electric with the ball in his hands, and I feel like I still don't know who's going to return punts and kicks. I think they keep gathering options, and so far none of the options still seem that great. So why not bring him in? And I wonder if he can't be like I wonder if they can't do some like Cordarrelle Patterson stuff with him, right? Because like he almost is more like a running back. A lot of the stuff in college was him lining up as a running back, and I'm not saying he's going to supplant Isaiah McKenzie for that role, but if he manages to win the kick return job, why not, give him the ball, 2-3 times a game? He's so fast. I just wonder if there's a way to get him in space and to use his speed, just a couple times a game, even if he can make the roster.
Yeah, and we've seen it before with the Bills too. When we had Andre Roberts back there, they did try to incorporate him into the offense on some downs.
God, even it was so awful when he was on offense.
Even if it wasn't great, they still tried to. Another option that we didn't even bring up is Jamison Crowder also does have experience returning. So I wouldn't rule him out either. I think it's a whole competition to see who the return man is going to be.
And to be fair, I just want to point out Tavon Austin hasn't returned kicks at a high volume since his rookie season in 2013. Mm-hmm. He hasn't returned kicks at all since 2017, and that was only once. 2016 was only once. 2015 was 3 times, and 2014 was only 2 times. But in terms of punt return, which is still up for grabs, he hasn't returned punts, in really high quantities since 2016. But he did have a couple in 2017 at 12 and 10 in 2018, and then 3 and 1 2020 and 2021 respectively. So he hasn't done it in a while, but obviously Tavon Austin he doesn't have a team yet, and he maybe doesn't feel like he'll get a team, and that's why he's signing with the Bills. So I mean, he probably would maybe be open to going back into doing returning, and seeing what he can do there, because obviously this is a team you want to play for. This is a team you want to look good with, So yeah. And of course we gotta give a shout out because of course,
what's up, Izzy?
So this is first round bye, guys. However, this was a Friday night show, okay? And we started this Friday night show with this man, my brother, Izzy, and we started this Friday night show because Izzy and Charlie used to have a show, and then they couldn't continue the show anymore.
It's a whole circle.
Exactly. Right. So it's really, really dope to have the quadrupsum. I don't know. I tried, Jake. I
The
tried, Jake.
quadrupsum. That's not even a word. Yo, that's almost as bad
Definitely
as
not a
brain
word.
baby.
That's definitely not a word. But shout out to my man Izzy. Much love, brother. Yes.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
and
So
if
go
you
ahead, Jake.
guys if you guys don't already, make sure to go check out Izzy's show, the Red Zone Report, that is
Oh, just
now.
brought it back.
Yeah, he's brought it back. He's been doing it.
It's on Saturdays, right?
Yeah, I
Oh.
believe so. Saturdays are. Is it? Yeah, it's Saturdays.
Yeah, I watched the first two shows. I thought it was pretty good. I haven't watched it in a couple weeks.
Actually, it
But I
might
did
be
watch
Sundays.
the first two shows.
What's that? Well, I mean, Izzy, if you in the comments, let us know. I know we probably not allowed to be guests, but
I was
let us know
catching. I
when
was
the show
catching a
is.
replay. So
Yes, let us know when the show is.
Wow. Oh, I'm sure that we could be guests. It would be
I don't-
fine.
I don't think we would. Anyway,
it's all right. Izzy's welcome here anytime.
Anyway.
absolutely. You already know. Yes. So yeah, so Tavon Austin, maybe a camp body, maybe a competition, maybe is the starting kicker and punt returner. We will see what happens there.
That's right.
As the Bills are in the swing of things. Josh Allen is already back into OTAs after playing in the Masters. So Sundays at 7. Watch the Red Zone Report. All right. But yes, Josh Allen is also back at OTAs, and hey, from what I'm hearing, the Bills is looking good. So yes, but all right, we got one more question. I'm sorry, Vince. we just talked about Tavon.
Yeah, basically, just real quick, Vince. Since I'm assuming you missed it, we think he's kind of competition for the kick punt thing, and maybe if he makes the roster, maybe they'll use him a little bit out of the backfield, like Cordell Patterson or something. That's kind of our general synopsis there.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Tavon Austin, and you can always, I'm saying, watch it on repeat, and we'll see what happens. But
make sure you leave a like and a comment for the YouTube algorithm, and I'll subscribe to the channel.
Slap that like, slap it.
Slap it.
You're allowed to, so slap it. All right. That was so stupid. Anyway, let's get into AFC East defensive positional rankings. Look, I killed it that time. Look, yeah, I got it that time. Anyway, all right.
Yeah.
So let's see. We will start with. We'll just go the basic. Left to right, middle linebackers, and then corners to safeties across the field, right? So let's start off with left ends. All right, all about them algorithms. You are absolutely right, Jason. All right, left ends in the AFC East. All right, so I got the rosters pulled up here, and I will list to you guys, meaning Jake Jordan and Charlie Gross. Is it Charles or Charlie?
Well, my legal name is Charles, but I prefer Charlie or
Even though we best friends, I can't call you Charles.
If you want to, you can call me Charles.
Because I'm gonna lie, bro. I just want to be different than everybody. You know what I'm saying? I call you Charles.
Right. My father used to call me Chuck, and he was the only person.
Chuck, are you cool with Chuck? Because
I don't love it. I don't know if it fits me.
He's just.
But I mean, like.
Well, all right. So Charles is better than Chuck.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, Charles is fine.
I'm gonna come
My
up with
wife
something.
uses Charles when like I'm sort of like in trouble.
Oh shit.
Oh, is that so, Charles?
Oh no.
Yeah.
What's
like
that?
my nickname is Jay. When people call me Justus, it's always uncomfortable. But yes, all right. I'll come up with something original. Anyway, we got left ends for the AFC East in the defenses. So for the Jets here, we got Carl Lawson. All right.
Okay.
We got Vinny Curry. We're just gonna do. Actually, we'll do each left end, and then we'll do 2 defensive tackles because that's too much. We ain't about to do all.
Well, I was just gonna just look at their room, right? So just go defensive ends.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, so we got Carl Lawson and John Franklin Myers.
Yep. Dude just got paid too.
Is he a draft pick or?
No, I think they got him in free agency. He was a guy who was kind of buried down the depth chart, and then they picked him up, and he was actually pretty decent for them last year.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he used to be on the Rams, I think.
Yeah.
I can't say I paid any attention to the Jets at all. So I'm sorry, guys. All right. Patriots, we got Dietrich Wise,
Mhm.
and we have Lawrence Guy.
I mean, you can
Not
put them at
strong.
4 right now.
Not strong.
You can just put them at 4 right now.
Lord.
I like Lawrence
Lawrence?
Guy, but he's if I had to choose, if I'm really looking at it and I go, all right, is Lawrence Guy better than Carl Lawson? No, I don't think
No.
so. Is Lawrence Guy better than Emmanuel Ogba or Melvin Ingram? No. Is he better than Von Miller? No. Like, that's 4, dude. And I don't even know the other dude you said. So,
All right. So for the Dolphins.
actually, did you say Dietrich Wise?
I did say Dietrich Wise.
You know.
For the Dolphins, we got Zach Sealer. Never heard of this guy.
Let's see.
The Dolphins have like a weird setup because they got some of them listed as like outside linebackers.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
Like
why?
Jalen
Jalen
Phillips is
Phillips,
an outside linebacker, and even Ingram they got listed as an outside linebacker. But
Okay, so let's go with y'all want to go with Emmanuel Ogba and Jalen Phillips because that is better than Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer.
Do we want to say Jalen Phillips or do you want to say Melvin Ingram?
Oh, where do you see Melvin Ingram?
They have Melvin Ingram and Emmanuel Ogba. Like
Lord,
that's
Oh,
a
God.
hell of a tandem there.
Why is he second string? Who in the good Lord put? Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna complain. All right, that boy is the Buffalo Bills destroyer. That's like Hulk
that's why
armor.
they got him.
it's like the
yeah,
Hulk Buster.
it is why they got him.
So who y'all want to go with here?
Do you want us to just go each?
Because I mean, they
list-wise?
got Melvin Ingram second string from where I'm standing, so I don't know if you want to.
So
Emmanuel Ogba and Melvin Ingram.
Yeah, so we'll just go. Me and then Charlie again, like we did last time. So I'll go 4. I'm gonna put the Patriots because Lawrence Guy is their number 1.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. You're moving a little. I don't understand. What's up? What's going on?
We're ranking the teams.
So the same way, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm still not sure who we're picking for the Dolphins. That's my bad.
Dolphins. We're gonna go Ogba and I would say Ingram, or maybe Jalen Phillips, but I would assume they might.
Well, I mean, if you wanna group them like the 3 of them, because like Izzy pointed out, like the Jets did draft like Jermaine Johnson. You know what I mean? Like most teams do have what the Bills have. Who Miller, Rousseau, and I don't know who you think the third guy is, whether it's Basham or Epinesa. I don't know if you want to, you know what I mean? I mean, we got, I think me and Jake's rankings are going to be the same, to be honest.
Probably.
Okay.
So
we'll just go Ogba and Ingram since we really, because obviously it's early in camp, but we know who's going to win the position and the starting job because that's like a no-brainer. All right, and of course we got the Bills with who we going? Von Miller and
Greg Rousseau.
All right, boom. So, all right, Jake, how'd you say you want to do it again?
So, just going to do it list-wise from 4 to 1, kind of like we did last time. So, number 4, it's the New England Patriots. Number 3, it's going to be the New York Jets. Number 2, I'm going to put the Buffalo Bills at number 2. I love Von Miller, but I think Ogba and we're kind of sitting there looking at Gregory Rousseau like this could be the year that he finally develops into a defensive end that could show promise. And he did last year, but we need him to take that step. I'm going to have to put the Dolphins at number 1 because they've got 2 pretty much proven guys in Ogba, who they just paid, and Melvin Ingram, who they just brought in. So that's number 1.
Jason has an interesting idea. I know Jake just gave his rating, so would you guys like to rank rooms as a whole versus just the starting ones?
See, that's gonna be
Because we already did the
hard
offense.
because then we're gonna have to look at every single player and be like
I mean, only certain players would really have too much value to shake a needle. But we could just keep going because we already did offense, so let's just keep going the way we're doing. All right, Charlie, what is your rankings?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Patriots are 4, the Jets are 3, and then I think this is a really interesting question between the Dolphins and Bills, and I think it really comes down to, if we're looking at Agba and Ingram against Rousseau, I think those are both better players than Rousseau, at least more established players with a better track record than Rousseau. So the question becomes, is Miller so much better than Ingram and Agba that he just elevates the Bills room like above the Dolphins? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I mean, I mean, Von Miller's like really good. I'm gonna say the Bills are number 2 and the Dolphins are number 1. I'm just because there is a track record there with those two players, and as good as Rousseau was against the run, he still has to I think show some stuff as far as pass rushing goes.
All right, so we got our scores here. I mean, you guys basically just had the exact same answer, so really no need to go into depth there. We already know what the scores are and who's in the lead and whatnot.
Also, Izzy, I know in the comments you said send a link, you jump in. I sent you one on Twitter, my guy, if you want to hop in. So,
all right,
there we go.
So now we are going to go to defensive tackles. This should be a little bit more interesting.
Sure.
I feel like we'll see what happens, right? All right, so let's go with the Dolphins here first. I'm sorry, we're going to go with the Jets because that's what I have written down. All right, Sheldon Rankins and Quinnen Williams. Not a bad duo.
Not at all, actually.
What do you guys think about that duo?
I like it. I'm looking at the Patriots right now because I feel like defensive tackle might be a little bit harder for us to do because I think there's a lot better defensive tackle rooms than there are defensive end rooms. Kind of just
Yeah, I think the Jets situation is, I think it's above average for sure. I mean, I was a little perplexed when they came out and said that as a hard and fast rule, they're not going to play any defensive lineman more than 30 or 35 snaps. That was a little weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, I understand rotation, but like that might be 40% of the snaps in some games. So but hey, I guess you do you. I was just like, you sure you don't want to play Quinnen Williams like more than 30 snaps? I mean, it's fine with me, but like you might want to. I don't know. I mean, the Jets are solid.
You see a lot of that. It weirds me out too. I'm like, why is he on the snap count? Like, it was somebody. Who am I thinking of? I think it was Groot was on the snap count. And I'm like, what for what? Like, but anyway, I digress. All right, so for the Patriots, we have Devon Goodell, Godshow. Sorry, bro. And Christian Barmore.
Bro, they got a defensive tackle named Bill Murray.
Patriots do?
Yeah. Who? Bill, and he is the whitest looking man I have ever seen in my life.
Well, that fits. I mean,
oh my God. Wow. This is okay.
All right, so real quick for the Dolphins, we have Raekwon Davis and John Jenkins.
Yeah.
And then, of course, for the Bills, we would have, well, Well, of course, you have Ed Oliver, and who would you guys like to? Would it be Tim Settle, Jordan Phillips?
I would go Daquan Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Jones.
think if you're going like starters, that's probably who it would be.
Interesting. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones. Jake Jordan.
Okay, so do we just want to go based off of the 2 starters? Is that what we're going with here?
Yeah, since that's what we did on offense.
Okay, so we're gonna go based off of the 2 starters. I like Sheldon Rankins and Quinnen Williams. I like them more than Godchow and Barmore. So, and if I look, Christian Wilkins is with the Dolphins, with Raekwon Davis. I might say that it's going to go Patriots, Dolphins, Jets, Bills for defensive tackles.
So we got Patriots, Dolphins, Jets, Bills.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right. And you want to talk about it a little bit, or you want to send it over to Charlie?
Well, we should introduce our new guest.
And there he is with his camera on. My
There
man.
he is.
That freaking Puerto Rican. What's going on, Izzy?
Chilling as always. You know what's up.
What's up?
He's
Nice
Not
to
much,
have
man.
you
How you
on.
doing, Charlie?
I'm doing well. It's nice to see you.
I called you Chuck earlier. My bad.
Oh, no,
I didn't know there was a story behind that.
It's
Just
all
don't call him
good.
Charles.
It's all good. You know.
The gang's all here. Okay. All right.
All right.
So
Friday,
Izzy-
crew, let's go.
Izzy has been in the chat. So are you know what we're doing, right? You know what's going on.
You guys are breaking down positions for the AFC East. I got it.
As far as and you got your rankings ready, like, because we're gonna throw you in the mix, bro.
Off the
Actually,
top of the dome, like Harry Mack.
I'm
and-
actually going off the top of the dome for this one. I did not know, and then I saw your show, and I was like, you know, if you want, I'll jump in there, and then
Look, he got his
as
whole man cave already ready. Look at that.
Oh, yeah,
When
it's
you
always
stay ready, when you stay
Always
ready,
ready.
you ain't got to get
Bro.
ready.
I punish him. That's what it is.
Come on now, Izzy. Come on now. You already know. All right. So
I don't know
while
what it was,
Izzy
but
is
earlier
sitting-
I got here and the pillows weren't right, and I was like, let me fix these damn pillows.
you already knew.
It's-
But since you're here, before we get Charlie's defensive tackle rankings,
yeah,
we're going to give him a second to think about what those might be. Looking at and we're going to allow you to give your defensive end rankings. All right,
So-
of the AFC East.
So defensive ends, the Patriots got Wise Guy. They got Dietrich Wise and Lawrence Guy. They're not bad guys. You know, they're solid defensive ends, but they're not elite in any way. They're also not bad anyway.
Mhm.
They can make other teams and be contributors. So I won't disrespect the Patriots defensive ends in that way. We've had our fair share of run-ins with those guys, and it is what it is. But they're still last, right? With Jermaine Johnson
He
and
said,
Carl Lawson
yeah.
coming back, yeah, they're still last. I mean,
Dead last. I mean,
Yeah.
can't disrespect, but dead last.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
contributors on most of the teams. Like if one of those guys goes to the Jets, they're still behind Carl Lawson, and they're behind Jermaine Johnson in the first round. First round pick. Right? They jumped up to jump. They get him in the first round. So
All right, who's number 3?
number 3 would be. I have to agree with Jake and Charlie saying that the Bills will be number 3 because I think that Basham and Rousseau or Basham and Epinesa or Basham and Shaq, the Bills are going to rotate. Like they're
Oh.
always going to rotate.
Oh,
Mm.
you're talking about Von Miller and Gregory Rousseau.
I think Von's going to play that Zoe role. So even when we have Shaq and Rousseau, or if we have Basham and Rousseau, or if we have Epinesa and Rousseau, or Rousseau and or Epinesa and Basham on a rundown, Von can still see the field when we have 2 defensive ends on the field other than him. So personally, I think that he's going to be rushing not just from the defensive end position, but from the linebacker position.
Mhm.
I think that he has the mental aptitude to play the Zoe role, which we've been missing since 2019. And
So
have
you
been-
don't think he'll be a primary pass rusher?
No, I think he will be a pass rusher, but he's going to be a pass rusher from everywhere.
Okay.
He's
That's
like
okay.
Zoe rushed from linebacker. When Zoe was here, we didn't just run a 4-2-5. We ran a 3-3-5. We ran
Mhm.
a 4-3 true. We ran all sorts of stuff with Zoe here. and Zoe rushed from middle linebacker, outside linebacker, defensive end. I mean, damn near slot receiver or slot corner at times. You know, there were points in the game where you're like, why is Zoe out there on freaking Jamison Crowder? Oh, he's blitzing. That's why. And now, you know, Milano's covering Crowder coming across the middle and then passing him off to Poyer or Hyde. Like there were times where Zoe was used in a way where he was in coverage for a short period of time and then, oh, nope, he's rushing. And I think that Miller is going to add that depth that Zoe gave us, potentially better because he's a better player than Zoe. And mentally he may be more football apt than Zoe. But Zoe was an anomaly in the game. Yeah. Right? Like he played tackle, he played guard, he played defensive end, defensive tackle, linebacker, defense. Like he played everything.
He was your OG Micah Parsons.
Yeah, but he played offense too, which is he played fullback.
Yeah,
like Zoe played like 7 different positions, and in Buffalo he played like 4: tackle, defensive end, linebacker, and sometimes slot. And it was stupid.
So,
but it worked.
Izzy, so your ranking is Patriots 4. Who's your number 3? The Bills.
My 2 is the Bills. My 3 is the Bills.
Okay, 3 is the Jets. Okay, because you said you were agreeing with us, yes. And then you said 3rd, you had the Bills, and I was like, "Whoa,
no, they were the 3rd on the list, but they were 2nd in order."
I got you.
So we go Patriots, Jets, Bills, but it's only because I don't think that Von Miller is going to always be playing defensive end. You'll have Basham, Lawson, Epinesa rotating in there with Groot along with Miller. You know, on those downs where you're not sure what they're doing, Miller might play end. But on those downs where like, this is a passing down. We're going after him. You may see, someone crazy dropping into coverage that you didn't expect, covering a running back, running, a middle route, like maybe a Tim Settle, or even a Ed Oliver, like just dropping back a little bit just to hold the middle down right there, right in the center. If first down's needed.
Yeah.
I think that Miller adds a layer of complexity to his defense that we haven't seen since Zoe left. And if you remember when Zoe was here, we were a top flight damn defense, and there was no doubt about it. We had tougher competition, and we were top 5, and we were still
we were number 3 that year.
Yeah, and we played harder competition that year. This year we were 1, and people were like, but we were really the best defense in the NFL. I don't know, our competition wasn't that great. That year our competition was tough as hell.
Oh yeah,
this year our competition is tough as hell again. So why wouldn't you want to bring in somebody else who could play that role? Von Miller, even when he's at end, doesn't put his hand in the dirt. He doesn't put his hand down. So why would I confuse myself as to think okay, this guy's playing defensive end? No, he's playing an outside linebacker rushing from the outside.
Yeah.
This defense is multiple enough to where they're like, okay, Von, do what makes you comfortable. Go out there and be your best self and do what you can for us. And if that's at end or a linebacker or whatever it is, we're for it. We brought you here for a reason. And it's to mess up other quarterbacks while they have the ball in their hands. And if there's a running back coming your way, smash them. But I think that the Dolphins, with true defensive ends, with Agba and Ingram, those guys are true ends. They're going to be playing end all the time. Ingram may once in a while be playing a technically outside linebacker role, but they run more of a 3-4 scheme. Their edges are technically the defensive ends. But Agba rushes the passer very well as a 3-4 end. So I think that because of their style, they're the number 1 pass rush when it comes to ends and edges, if we're calling them that. And I think the Bills are second in that. But I think that by the midway point to the end of the season, we're going to be saying the Bills are number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of that. All right, Charlie, give us your AFC East defensive tackle power rankings.
I'm going to agree with Jake, actually. I know that doesn't make for good viewership, but it's true. Oh, it's true. So yeah. So Patriots, Jets, Dolphins, Bills, right? That's what we had it as there.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because I feel like each team, except maybe the Patriots, have a pretty high level guy. Like even Barmore's played pretty well for them in his first season, and then obviously Quinn Williams, Wilkins, and Oliver, and then it's sort of the other guy who is maybe more of a run stuffer or whatever. But I'm going to give the edge to the Bills.
All right. Cool. So we got our scores. Obviously, there's no need to go over the scores. You guys know exactly who's winning. Izzy, you want to give us your defensive tackle power rankings?
So fourth, I have the Jets. Although I really do like Quinn Williams, I also think he's smart as a box of rocks. I mean, I really witnessed him sneeze, bless himself, and then thank himself. So, I mean,
thank you.
Yep, I saw it. 7 seconds on YouTube. Then I go Dolphins. Dolphins defensive tackles are solid. They're not great, but they have two guys who can really hold on the fort if they run a four wide, scheme. Then I go Patriots because Barmore is a mammoth. He's a monster. Like him or not, it really doesn't matter as much who's next to him because he's got the size to play 1 or 3. And then the other guy has just got to be decent. But the Bills have Ed Oliver, who's undersized, playing incredibly. And then you bring in a Daquan Jones and a Tim Settle. So those guys, Tim Settle is interchangeable, 1 and 3. Then you bring back a Jordan Phillips, right, who's mostly a pass rusher from the defensive tackle position. He's not really a good run stopper, as Charlie would tell you. He's not really that great a pass or a run stopper, and Charlie will be the first one to tell you, look, he's not good against the run. If it's a passing down, put him in there. Otherwise, sit him the hell down, right? But at defensive tackle, if you need pass stop, run stop, whatever, the Bills have whatever combination you need to get the damn job done. And you can even stick somebody like a Shaq in there if you really wanted to. I wouldn't because he's so good at setting the edge on a run stop. But, yeah, I think that also adding Shaq and then having Greg on a rundown is amazing. So also playing back into the whole Zoe role with Von Miller, you put him back there. Now he's rushing the passer. If it's a pass on a rundown, you got your two guys who are sealing the edges in case of a run. You have Von Miller who can rush down the middle, on the outside, doesn't matter. I got the Bills at number 1 for defensive tackle, not just because we have a good rotation, but because we have good support around them.
I want to say, for the record, as of right now, the Bills' starting defensive ends are Greg Rousseau and Shaq Lawson. So
very well could be. And Shaq's last year he had 6 sacks. So that's nothing to sneeze at. We haven't had a 6-sack guy since Shaq.
Izzy's point, Von Miller is listed as a sub linebacker. So all right. So Izzy, I'm sorry. You had the Jets 4. Who was 3? Who was 2? Who was 1?
Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills.
3.
Oh, excuse me. Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, Bills. I was thinking defensive end. Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, Bills.
So not really high on Sheldon Rankins, huh?
He's been around.
Yeah.
He's been around.
All
I mean,
right,
he's solid.
He's
He's solid enough to stay in the league, but he's not solid enough to really wow me.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get into linebackers now. And, I mean, we did include Agba in the Dolphins, so we'll just go. No,
Ingram. Ingram they have listed as a linebacker.
Yeah, but we did include Agba, and he is the linebacker, so just want to put that out there. All right, so for the Dolphins, we have Andrew Van Ginkel. Right, Elandon Roberts, Jerome
who
Baker,
got crushed by the Moss,
Jerome Baker, and then as sub linebacker we have Emmanuel Agba, aforementioned. So that is the Dolphins. Keep that in mind, gentlemen. For the Patriots, we have Matthew Judah, we have Juwan Bentley. And Josh Uche. She's pretty good.
Uche's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. And for the Jets,
4.
We have
easily 4.
I don't know.
We have CJ Mosley, Quincy Williams, and I got a blast from the past from you guys. Hamza Nasruddin. Remember during the draft,
yes,
everybody wanted Nasruddin.
Draft crush. Hamza Nasruddin.
For sure. All right. And then I did that for the Buffalo Bills. Of course, we have Matthew, Milano, Tremaine, Edmonds, and Von Miller.
And Terrell Bernard.
Well, no, we're doing the 3. So
Okay,
Matt.
okay.
Yes. All right. So that is what the AFC East linebackers look like for this. So Jake Jordan, we'll start with you. Give us your rankings for the linebackers.
Well, it's easy to see who's number 1. Jeez. All right. So Juwan Bentley, Uche, and Judon. Judon, what a great pickup for the Patriots. Judon was. He's like the only thing that when I look at their defense, I'm still like, Matt Judon is a solid guy, like way above average. I probably got to go CJ Mosley. I haven't really seen that same Baltimore CJ Mosley that they signed. So I'm going to go Jets 4. And then Van Ginkel's solid. Landon Roberts is okay. And then who else did you have?
Ogba. Linebacker.
Ogba. Yeah, I'll probably just go Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills.
Jets losing, Patriots, Dolphins at 2, and Bills at 1. Charlie Gross, how you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic.
Look at that. Okay, Charlie.
Yeah. I mean,
all right,
Chucky. You know what I'm saying?
Tell him, Chuck.
That's right. Chuck Dizzle. So
look at that. You got a nickname. Chuck Dizzle.
Right. I am almost going to agree with Jake. You know what? I'm gonna agree with Jake. I can't do it. I can't do it.
3 positions.
You can't do it, man. You're you. You gotta do you.
I mean, if Von Miller was not on the Buffalo Bills linebacker core, they ain't number 1. I'll tell you that right now. So I'm gonna go Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills.
You gotta flip.
And honestly, if Van Ginkel wasn't there, I'd probably put the Dolphins above the Bills. But Van Ginkel is just.
So Charlie,
just
to be clear, just to be clear, you have the Patriots at 2.
It's Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills.
Oh, so they are number 3. Oh, so you did do exactly what Jake did. All right, cool. All right, just have to be sure. All right. I didn't even. Y'all can't see what I'm writing on my. Izzy, it is your go, my brother.
So I do have the Jets last. CJ Mosley has not, as my man Jake said, been the CJ Mosley of the Ravens, not since like his first year as a Jet. And then he got hurt, and since then he hasn't been the same guy. He's overpaid and underwhelming. I actually think Blake Cashman would probably be better suited to take that spot from him, and Blake Cashman is nothing to write home about, but he's at least healthy and solid. And when Mosley's not playing, Cashman is, and Cashman, I think, kind of reminds me a little bit of Milano. When it comes to number 2, I go Dolphins, because outside of Van Ginkel, I'm not really impressed by Landon Roberts at all. Look, I'm not a huge Zach Moss guy, nor am I a huge Zach Moss hater. He has his role. He's the hammer. If you need 3 yards, he'll get you 3 yards. If you need 10 yards, he's going to get you 3 yards. He's that guy, right? That's just him.
Yeah.
And against Landon Roberts, he's going to get you 4 yards. So it is what it is. He's going to hammer that guy like he's a damn nail. So I got the Dolphins 3. I got the Patriots 4. Judon, good pass rusher. He can drop into coverage somewhat.
But you just said the Jets are.
No, my bad. 2. I'm going. Look, I said 3 and I said 4 as if I was going out in numerical order, but I'm
Well, I'm
2
sorry.
is the Patriots. 2 is the Patriots.
Okay, so the Patriots are 2, and the Dolphins
Judon's more of a pass rusher, right? But he also can play the traditional linebacker role if you really need him to. He's very versatile, and he can actually drop into coverage a little bit. So I do like the Patriots linebacking core a little bit more than I like the Dolphins linebacking core. Plus, they have the greatest defensive coach of all time, in my opinion, which is Bill Belichick. He may not be the best offensive coach. He may not be the best GM, but when it comes to coaching defense, that dude's a genius. Take whatever you want from it. I'm not a big stan of Bill Belichick personally because I'm a Bills fan, obviously. But when it comes to coaching defense, he makes players who are not that great look really, really good. So I'll take them over the Dolphins, especially with their new offensive head coach. And then when it comes down to it, I think Matt Milano is the best linebacker in this division. And Edmonds is a very close second. I think Edmonds has some growing to do. I think he's very young, and he has – people say, well, when's it going to be time for Edmonds? I think that Edmonds at 23 is still figuring out his body and figuring out what he can and can't do.
Yeah, he's still really young.
Yeah, he's 23. He'll get there. I mean, people will say, well, he's been in the NFL for 4 years now. There's no excuse. It's like he's a 23-year-old man. Men are still growing at 23.
Wait, so is Von Miller a linebacker in this scenario?
He's a linebacker too, yes, but he'll be playing mostly defensive end. I do think he'll play linebacker at times, which is why he's listed as a linebacker and is allowed to wear number 40. Right? You can't play defensive end and wear 40. You have to be defensive end and linebacker.
That's why he's a linebacker, because he went number 40.
So he's got number 40 because he's going to be a linebacker on the roster, but he's going to play both end and linebacker. He's going to do both. But when you're running a true 4-3 on a passing down, he's going to play end, and you're going to have Terrell Bernard out there, rushing or going to coverage like Milano. He manufactures his game after Milano. That's his idol, apparently, which is cool and strange.
This is why they invented the term edge player.
Exactly, because in a 3-4, it's a linebacker outside, and then in the 4-3, it's the ends. But personally, I think that the Bills' linebacking core is going to be a lot more multiple than other teams. Agua might play linebacker sometimes, but he's rushing. He's doing. He's going out there. He's lining up on the outside. He's rushing. He may guard a slot or play a spy on occasion, but against Josh, we know what that is. So I think that the Bills' linebacking core is going to be better. And I really, honestly, if I'm totally honest with everybody, the AFC East linebacking cores are not that great, and the Bills are a solid middle of the pack when it comes to the NFL as a whole. There are other linebacking cores that are better, like the Colts with Darius Leonard. But if Edmonds finally finds himself,
I don't know about
this
middle of the pack, but I give him some.
I mean, you got Fred Warner out there, you got Bobby Wagner out there, you got other guys who are like.
I'm not saying they're top 5, but I think they're top 10.
If they're top 10, they're 10.
I'm not. I'm maybe.
I would say middle of the pack is between 10 and 22. That's middle of the pack.
Okay.
10 and 22.
I typically go like 13 to 18.
I give you 9 ahead and 9 behind. Everything else is middle of the pack.
Gotcha. All right, fair enough. All right, but let's get into some safety talk in the AFC East.
Safeties. I thought we were going straight to corners. I'm sitting here.
All right, well, we can do corners.
I think corners are more of an outsource from this. I think safeties are more related to linebackers and defensive ends.
All right, so we'll go corners first, and then we'll go safeties.
Sure.
Whatever order you want, man.
All right, so
I don't care. Let's go.
I mean, he clearly has been studying.
I have been, while everybody's talking, I have literally been sitting here.
So I'm gonna help my man's out. You know what I mean? But while it's fresh in his brain, let's get it out real quick. All right, so we got corners for every team in the AFC East, and we're gonna start with the Miami Dolphins. They got a good pair over here: Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. So we are going to include injured players. All right, because they're going to be playing at some point this season.
Are we going to be doing slot corner?
Convenient for the Buffalo Bills.
No, because Byron Jones is also injured. So I feel like
if
if Byron
too, Justus.
We can include the slide as well.
Okay.
So I think if Byron Jones is not there and Noah Igbenogany is instead there, Igbenogany is instead there, that's going to drastically change how you rank the Dolphins. So we're going to include injured players. Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, and Xavier Howard and Nick Needham is for your Miami Dolphins. For your New England, or for the New England Patriots, there ain't nobody's on here, but Jalen Mills, Terrence Mitchell, and Jawan Williams. Oh no, I'm sorry, Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler.
Jawan Williams was a 6'4" corner that Bill Belichick drafted 4 years ago because big corners and whatever.
Hey, Nnamdi Asomugha was a dream, and then he just became garbage. I don't know what happened. All right, but for the Jets, we got
Eagles, that's what happened.
For the Jets, we got Ahmad Sauce Gardner. Obviously, he is a first round pick for the Jets. And then for the other cornerback, we got DJ Reid. And then for slot, we got Michael Carter. Now, they also have a corner named Bryce Hall. Oh, Bryce Hall. I was like, wait, they got a corner and a running back. Anyway, Michael Carter, who is very good.
Spelled the same?
No. I'm just an idiot. It is Michael Carter, who he's the slot. And I got to say, guys, Michael Carter is very good. So don't sleep on Michael Carter, all right? I don't just think he's garbage, and you know what I mean. And obviously for the Buffalo Bills, we're going to include Tre'Davious White as well as Kyer Elam, and we're going to go with Teron Johnson. Jake Jordan, give me your list.
Okay, so because it's really hard to try to choose between the Jets and the Patriots. And some people might not think that. You might want to go with the experience that you're going to have with Malcolm Butler being there. And also, don't they who's the other guy that they signed? Jones? They have a guy, Jones, that they got from the Raiders. But
Patriots?
Yeah. Hold on. I'll find him here. He's somewhere. Let's see. Corners. Jonathan Jones.
You just lost him, I thought.
Yeah.
Did they? He's still on their lineup. So
yeah, they
the
just lost him
Patriots?
to the Raiders, I think. Yeah, Jonathan Jones was there. He's the guy who knocked out Josh Allen 2 years ago.
Yeah, Jonathan Jones is gone.
Okay, well,
Jonathan Jones is still there.
Yeah, it says he's still here.
Huh.
So Jonathan Jones and Malcolm Butler and Jalen Mills. If I had to go with that, I'm gonna put that over an unproven Sauce Gardner as of right now, even though he's a first-round talent, and DJ Reid. And I like Michael Carter. I think he's solid, but I'm going to have to put the Jets there, then the Patriots just because of kind of experience. Then I'm going to put the Bills because of the uncertainty at cornerback too, again, for the same reason why Sauce Gardner doesn't elevate the Jets up is because I don't know what Kyer Elam is going to be. So Tre'Davious White, Teron Johnson, that's great. But then outside of those guys, you got a whole bunch of And then the Dolphins, they have Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, and Nick Needham, who is solid. He's not amazing, but he's not terrible. And Igbenogany isn't terrible either. So I'm going to have to say the Dolphins. So it's going to go Jets, Patriots, Bills, Dolphins for corners.
All right. Fair enough. Maybe anyway, we'll see. All right, Charlie, give me your list, bro.
I am going to agree completely with Jake this time.
There's no way.
Charlie's my favorite guest.
No.
Thanks very much. I appreciate that.
Jake,
okay.
I'm sorry, Chucky. What's your real list?
Chucky.
My list is the Jets, the Patriots, the Dolphins, and then the Bills.
Oh, okay. So you did change it
to the Bills.
And the reason why I was gonna do what Jake did, but then I was
Peer
like,
pressure.
well, that's boring. And well, and I look at it this way. I understand. I totally understand the Kyrie Elam point.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, like, I guess I'm giving Teron Johnson like a big
A
boost
big
over
boost,
Needham,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
like kind of like what and so like even though they have Xavier Howard and Byron Jones, which is probably a better tandem because we don't know what Elam is, I feel like the difference between Johnson and Needham kind of elevates the Bills
yeah.
just above
Okay.
that in that sense. So that's why
That was
I did
the
that.
only thing I disagree with about Jake's entire thing. That was the last thing I was like, but Johnson is so much better than Needham. But
and I understand that, but I just think if you have two guys that are considered way above average corners and then a average slot corner, I think puts it against a really good let's say top 5 corner in Tre'Davious White, an unknown in Kyrie Elam, and then a above average slot. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
one of the
I
best
would
ones,
say
so
I do
there's
get your
an
point.
argument
I just
each
think,
way.
yeah,
I think
I would say the Dolphins have
great
2 top 10
slot corner.
corners.
Yeah.
And then they've got like this kind of solid slot guy. The Bills have like a top 10 corner, obviously a rookie, and then I'd say one of the best, I don't know, 3 slot corners in the league. You know, so
Yep.
either
agree.
way, you can kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be wrong either way.
You're splitting
necessarily.
hairs. Absolutely. That was just, I don't get an opinion, so like I was trying to think, should I give commentary here?
No,
So
The moderator.
As many
So,
opinions as
I
you
wasn't
want,
trying
man.
I wasn't trying to point,
And I'm not
point
fitting.
you out, Jake, or anything like that.
I'm not gonna slander Taron Johnson anymore. Those days are gone for me. So
Woo, speaking of dog water bets, we all got our dog water bets. Izzy, you family, bro, you got to get a dog water bet. So let's have it.
I don't know what that means.
That means, all right,
He's
so
out of the
dog
loop.
water bet. It is Jake said, look, I can't remember what team it was.
the Seattle Seahawks.
Seahawks are going to be hot doo-doo garbage, boo.
I said
They're
they're
gonna be
number 1
terrible.
pick material.
So
Ooh,
he
top
says
five,
that the
definitely.
Seahawks are not even going to win 5 games this year.
Who's their
And
quarterback?
if they do,
Geno
right
Smith
now it's Geno
currently.
or
Drew
Drew
Lock.
Lock. So he says if they win more than 5 games,
I will
he
drink
will
dog water.
drink dog water live on camera.
What is dog water? I know fish water. I have an aquarium. I can give you
It's-
some fish water if you want.
It's just
Water
I
from a
will.
dog bowl.
Yeah, I will film my parents' dogs drinking out of a bowl of water, and I will then take that water and I will drink it,
All of it.
all of it,
I
on
don't
camera.
wanna say all that.
Wow,
You nasty
man.
girl.
Yo, Jake's super confident.
Wait, hold on.
Yo.
So Charlie, you had a dog water bet too. Let everybody know what your dog water bet was.
I do? What's mine? I forget.
Wasn't you?
Did we make Charlie do one? I know Caveman did one.
Caveman was the one on the show,
Yeah.
and then somebody was it? Oh, it was Coach Kim. It was Coach Boom.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right. So we need
Howard?
dog water bets from both of y'all.
Kim was on here.
Coach Boom. Coach Boom.
No,
always on
in
there.
the comments section.
Kim
what
Boomhauer.
Yeah.
That's my guy right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Coach Boom. Absolutely. That's
It's always
family.
there, man.
All right. So dog water bet. Izzy, give us yours, and then we'll get Charlie's, and then we'll finish this list.
So
Oh
mine
man,
is
lots
that,
of pressure right here.
Mine is that Von will play that Zorro. No one else has said that. I've been the guy who's been saying that. That's my bet. I bet you we see him
That's
at
not
linebacker.
a dog water bet.
Who else thought that? Am I
You gotta-
the
Oh,
Because that you got to make a season bet. Like by the end of the
Okay.
season, this
like if you
team
said
will
Von
be-
Miller was going to be defensive player of the year,
Yeah,
that's a
so
dog
like-
water bet.
Oh.
It don't have to be that extravagant. but
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, like it doesn't have to be at that level, but it's still
Yeah.
got to be like in that realm, you know. Like me saying that they're not going to win more than 5 games. Like
I got one. I got one.
okay.
You guys, I think Justice is gonna like this one. Devin Singletary breaks 1,000 yards rushing.
Oh shit, dude, get ready
That
to
he
drink
will?
that dog water with me.
So you're saying if he does, you don't have to drink, but if he doesn't, you do.
Yes.
I
And
like
I have
it.
3
I
dogs,
like that.
so there's
I like
plenty of dog water here.
Okay.
And it's
I like it.
Yeah, it's a goddamn trough. I'm not gonna drink the whole goddamn trough though. I promise you that. But I will
make
get
it
a glass. I will scoop in
Yeah.
there, and I will drink the glass of water.
yeah, we'll do
I like
glasses of dog water.
My dog water bet is that the frauds that they are,
It'll
the
be a
Bengals
whole-
will not win more than 9 games next year.
Ooh.
because
I
they're
Don't agree.
just,
You'll be drinking some water.
no, I won't. And
I
especially
want
not in that
I want a
AFC North.
whole panel of just everybody having to drink water because we all suck.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
What if
I
we're
want.
all wrong?
And then
We're
we
all
gotta bring Coach Boom on to drink his too.
Oh yeah.
All right, Charlie, what's your dog water bet? So we get back to the corners.
Okay, I'm looking up something real quick. All right. I got it. The Arizona Cardinals will be picking in the top 10 for next
Okay.
year's
All
draft.
right.
Great one.
Okay.
Damn.
Hang on. Because that's a complicated one. Because what if they trade up?
Well, I'm saying they're like where they end up at the end of the year.
We'll say
You know,
where they
will
start
be in the top
draft.
10.
Honestly,
Like,
I feel like if they trade up, he still should win because
So
that's very specific.
What you're saying is that they're specific to the team. Top 10, their draft pick for the first round, whether they're traded or not, will be a top 10 pick.
Well, I mean,
So
I'm
so
assuming
say
that
they- say
they're
they
just going to
trade
end
for
up in the
somebody,
top
right?
10.
So say they trade for somebody, they gave away the first round pick, right? That pick will be a top 10 pick. So they're the Cardinals, right? And you need one guy to help you make it. You trade away that first round pick. Let's say the Steelers have that pick now, right? The Steelers will be picking the top 10 with that pick they got from the Cardinals.
Oh
No,
okay, so-
I would say wherever the Arizona Cardinals would have originally been in the draft.
That's what I'm
would
saying.
be- Yeah.
They gave up their.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is
All right,
our
so
pick.
whatever
Charlie, are you
whatever
saying
their
The
pick is.
Cardinals or the
okay?
Chargers or the-
All right, so he is
Like-
saying that the Arizona
Right.
Cardinals will play bad enough that they will end up in the top 10 of the draft. All right, so
Yeah.
we got it. All right.
So
Right,
even
like
if
if
they
they
trade it
trade back,
somewhere
like
else.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't control that. I'm just
Right.
saying, like,
If they trade back,
I
they still
can't wait
earned
for
the
all
first-
of us to
they
be
still
drinking
earned that
dog
pick.
water on here, man.
Yeah.
That's all I
All
can
right.
say.
All of y'all.
All right,
light it up.
Izzy, let's get
Please grab
to
somebody.
your cornerback rankings for the AFC East. I will not remind anybody of what the scores are because we want these answers to be
Yeah. Genuine.
genuine.
So the worst one for me is easy. It's the Patriots. I'm sorry. I'm not impressed at all. I'm not at all. Malcolm Butler, sorry, hasn't been good in 3 freaking years.
Washed.
I don't know who the other corner is. I don't know who the other outside corner is, and I don't know their slot is. And I'm usually up on these things, but I have been very ill impressed with their offseason entirely. They've lost a lot of players.
Jalen
were very-
Mills, Terrence Mitchell, and Malcolm Butler.
Yeah, it might as well be me, Dan Mitchell, and Jake.
Okay.
Okay? Because, yeah, I'm sorry. No. No. Who's their number one corner?
Cole Strange.
I'll fucking take it
Probably.
over Malcolm Butler right now. He's probably got a better RAS score.
Are we still Jonathan Jones? Or can someone look up if he's actually on the
I'll
team?
look him up on Pro Football.
Because he's on lineups.com. They have him still on the roster. So
It might be showing his old stats. Jonathan Jones.
I mean, just
cornerback for the Patriots. Apparently, he's still the Patriots. Okay. So you might
okay,
be right.
so yeah.
He's bummish to me. I'm sorry. He was good because Gilmore was there. He had support on the
Yeah.
side. Gilmore was guarding somebody one-on-one. He had a safety covering him in Devin.
okay, he still plays for the Patriots apparently. So
Yeah, and he's not top 3 corner apparently. So
No.
who cares? Like he's
Fair
their
enough.
dime corner. He's their dime corner. I don't care.
Mhm.
all
They're
right,
fourth.
who's number 3?
The Jets are number 3 right now because Michael Carter's solid. Their nickel guy is solid, and they have a rookie in Sauce Gardner who I think is going to elevate them to number 2 in the division.
Michael Carter, two-way player,
Yeah,
running back
And-
and cornerback.
DJ
Yeah.
Reid.
and look, one of them was Michael Carter the second apparently. From what I
Yeah,
saw in the
there's Michael
jersey.
Carter
Yeah.
second.
So
DJ
one's
Reid, Michael Carter, and Sauce Gardner.
And I don't know if Michael spelled different for each of them because there's different ways to spell Michael apparently. But yeah, neither here nor there. They're second right now because they don't have a established corner on either side yet. Gardner's supposed to be their number 1, and he's a rookie, so he's their number 1. Number 2 for me would be the Bills because White is the number 1, whether he plays week 1 or not, and then Elam is number 2.
Mhm.
And then if Trey White's not there, Dane Jackson's there, and he filled in well for him last year. So that makes him easily number 2 for me because we have a solid guy covering for Trey White if he's not there, right? And Taron Johnson's easily one of the top 3, as Charlie said. Nickels in the league, and nickel wide receivers are making a difference. It is what it is. Call it what you want. He's covering tight ends. He's covering slot receivers. They're important. Someone's smoking detector is going off, and it's driving me a little crazy. All right. So, then it's the Dolphins, of course. Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, both All-Pro guys, both Pro Bowl guys, both superb athletes at corner. Both can play both zone and man. One is better at zone, and one is better at man. Xavier Howard's better at man. Needham, I'm not impressed with the slot. I don't know why people keep saying he's decent, and Igbenogany is a bum. So
I don't know. Did you see him keeping up with Tyreek in those practice videos?
I also saw Tua throwing the Tyreek in those videos, and Dolphins fans are ecstatic. But we got my man Dave over here making videos.
He was all over Tyreek. Whether that was 45 yards or 20 yards, I don't know. I don't know who to believe. But
Tyreek would have caught it and gone for 6. It is what it is.
I think he caught it and it was a touchdown. So
yeah, exactly.
I feel like Tua's passes have more hang time than their Dolphins punters punts.
He's got more hang time on his passes than Ariza.
Every throw is a dud. It's like he literally has to compensate for not having the arm strength. He has to throw it further.
Well, see, he called all of us out this morning. He said those Twitter keyboard warriors.
Bro,
talking about
I'm just gonna say this: it's good for us that both of our safeties were born in the 80s because they're familiar with the Nintendo game Duck Hunt.
Yeah,
they get the zapper. Me too. I got it downstairs, bro.
I missed that game.
Yeah.
All right. So Jake, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You and Izzy both put the Bills number 2. Now, fair enough. It's your ranking.
I think it's a change.
I do want to ask, all right? So let's say it's not Kyrie Elam, right? Let's say Dane Jackson was to win that CB2 spot. Does that change how you feel? Dane Jackson, the same Dane Jackson who still led his defense, or not led, but he was a part of the defense that was the number 1 defense in the league, the number 1 secondary in the league, even after, Tre'Davious White fell off or not. Okay, I apologize for that. That did not.
We'll go with it.
Tre'Davious White got injured. So let's say if Dane Jackson was there, and it was Tre'Davious White, Dane Jackson, Taron Johnson, does that make it any different for you?
For Jake or me?
I think
Jake.
For both of us because we both
Jake.
put them at number 2. Again, I like Dane Jackson. I think what he does in the system is great, but if I'm looking at face value of just player versus player, it's just kind of like what we did last week. I still think Byron Jones and Xavier Howard, like Dane Jackson would have to prove to me that he's a top 10 corner in the league. And I don't know about that. And I don't think that at least the Bills aren't expecting. I mean, they know Dane Jackson's probably going to be CB1 starting week 1 because Tre'Davious White, we assume, isn't going to be there. But if Dane Jackson is in that role, does it change it for me? Not really.
Okay.
I kind of agree with Jake in the sense because I think that if you have Trey White and Dane Jackson going in there, that you're kind of looking again at Trey White and Levi Wallace, except this Levi Wallace is a better tackler. Right, so Dane Jackson's not afraid to hit. He's got a solid rating from PFF on coverage, but he's better when it comes to tackling. And I think that's what made Levi Wallace kind of expendable, where they didn't extend a bigger offer than the Steelers. But I believe it will be Elam. I think that Elam has the work ethic, the mental fortitude, and the ability to really go and get it. And he may eventually surpass Tre'Davious White as the number 1 corner in his team. It won't be this year, but I think that he has the physical potential and skills to do it. Plus, mental drive.
He was picked higher than Tre'Davious White, to be fair. So
yeah, but that's because they traded up. I mean, if they stay at 25, he might still be there.
Still
Still
picked higher.
we're talking about 4 or 5 picks. So
I'm just saying the propensity for him to be better is there. That's all I was saying.
yeah, he could have been drafted in the 7th round. He could potentially be better, but I don't like to put stock in like where you were drafted versus where you are actually, because I believe that Milano is the best linebacker on the team, and he was drafted in the 5th round versus Edmonds in the first. So there are other factors involved, but still, when I break it down, I think the Bills at the end of the season should be number 1, but as of right this moment, they're number 2.
Fair enough. All right, let's get to the final defensive position, safeties. Maybe we'll come back and do such special teams to like start another show or something like that. But for now, we're just going to do safeties. And I mean, obviously, for the Buffalo Bills, you have maybe the greatest duo in the league, definitely the greatest duo in Bills history. Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde back there, and that's a bad duo. Of course, they're probably going to be on. But for the Dolphins here, you have LaMarcus Joyner as well as Jordan Whitehead. For the Patriots, you have Devin McCourty and Kyle Duggar, and for the Dolphins, you have Javon Holland and Eric Rowe. And I said for the Dolphins, but I meant for the Jets. You have LaMarcus Joyner and Jordan Whitehead. And, of course, I said for the Bills. So, Jake, Jordan, give me your rankings for the AFC East safeties.
Yeah, it's Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills.
Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills. All right. Want to elaborate?
Usually, I know I have for the last ones. For the Jets,
it's pretty obvious. So,
yeah, like in the Patriot. Actually, I might have put the Dolphins at 3 because Devin McCourty is still really good. He graded out a 92 grade last year.
Damn! Did he for real?
Yeah. So he's still. I'm looking at all their grades too. Like he's still a damn good safety.
So we're going Patriots too.
Yeah. So yeah, I might go Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, Bills.
All right. Sounds good. Charlie, rank your safeties.
I am going to go Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, and Bills. Hey, man. Great minds think alike.
Yeah, man.
Like, I think it's really a tough call between the Patriots and the Dolphins because I think Javon Holland is outstanding. And I think even though McCourty's old, like he's still pretty good. They got Adrian Phillips. To me, that's the hardest one. I think to where you're going to go with second or third. So that's the way I went. And then obviously like the Bills are number 1, unless it's Micah Hyde and Jaquan Johnson. Then they are not. They are not number 1.
He been in that conversation a while.
I know. He's a Dolphins fan. We have obviously, they're gonna, but putting it was a coin flip really there for 2 and 3. Again, I don't think you can go wrong either way of going it, but to say that any of these teams have a better safety duo than the Bills would be asinine.
Yeah,
right. And the Bills
first team All Pro
won't have
and then second team All Pro. I mean, come on,
because the quarterback isn't good enough to consistently get him the ball, and Cooper Kupp is not unguardable. But whatever.
That has nothing to do with this conversation.
Yeah,
he's saying.
Where did that
he's down in the comments.
Oh no, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. All right, Izzy, give us your rankings.
Yeah, obviously Bills are number 1.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's obvious. So everybody else is battling for number 2, but my order is going to be a little different.
Okay.
I've got Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Bills.
Wow.
Yeah, I got Jordan Whitehead and Joyner above McCourty, who and Kyle Hamilton, right?
They have Phillips, isn't there?
Yeah,
Who's
Adrian
their-
Phillips. They also have Jabril Peppers and Kyle Duggar. So
Yeah, so we got Duggar, we got freaking McCourty, and we got Peppers. But we're talking about starting corners.
yeah,
It's McCourty and who?
McCourty and Kyle Duggar.
Okay, so McCourty and Duggar are the starting safeties.
Yeah.
I got the Jets over that. I got Whitehead and I got Joyner over that. I do.
Okay.
And they have a defensive head coach, right? In Salah. Granted, the Patriots do too. But Whitehead and Joyner lately have been better. And I do have a correction for you, Jake. 76 is what Devin McCourty was rated this past year, which
Was
isn't
it?
bad. It's not bad. Like I have it here. I can share it with you if you want, but
That's
not what I
fine. I'm just wondering. Okay, what is the 2022 to 2023? They at least lineups had him rated. I don't know. Are you looking at PFF?
PFF has him as 76 overall.
Okay, all right.
Run
we're
defense
looking
is
at different
72 and
ratings, so
pass
who knows?
against a 52.
Yeah.
So and coverage was a 76.2, which I don't understand how his pass. Anyway, so he's still a solid
Ratings are
safety.
weird, man.
He's still a very good safety.
Yeah.
But Hamilton or Kyle Duggar is not really a coverage guy.
Mm,
He's a hitter. He's a Jamal Adams kind of guy.
100%.
And so I look at him in that light. When it comes to safeties, he's a one-dimensional player for me. Right? And Jabril Peppers maybe on the field at the same time where they have 3 safeties out there where you have McCourty and Peppers deep and you have Hamilton or Duggar. Why do I keep saying Hamilton? Kyle Duggar in there playing like a box safety kind of role, but to me that's exhausting your safety resources. I think that the Jets are better than that. The Dolphins have solid safeties, but I think the Jets edge them out. I think that the Jets are actually going to be better than a lot of us think they are, and it's going to be because some of those defensive players they have, and their safeties is where it starts for me.
Oh no, man! If you've been hearing me, I had arguments on draft night. I had arguments for multiple weeks defending that I think the Jets are going to be better than the Patriots this year.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the defensive players that they picked up in Whitehead and Joyner. Those guys are very good safeties. They've been good safeties for the Rams and the Buccaneers. They've been solid safeties for championship teams and teams that went to Super Bowls, whatever you want to call them. Joyner went to Super Bowl with the Rams, and Whitehead won one with the Bucks. I think they went out and they did the due diligence as safety. They picked up a good corner in Sauce Gardner. The Jets are doing things, and the Patriots aren't. Personally, I think that the Jets are probably going to be our next real challenge in the AFC East because
Give it a couple of years, yeah.
Give it 2-3 years, and we're going to have a real challenge in the Jets potentially, so long as they don't screw it up, which we can count on them to possibly screw it up.
Yeah,
But is that me beeping? All right, bro. That's me. My
It
bad,
might be.
bro.
But there's definitely a
we need
smoke
to
detector
send you
going
some
off.
batteries, bro.
But I got it. I got it. Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Bills.
All right, guys. So I have the totals tallied up. Very interesting story being told here. All right. Of course, as you guys know, the higher the score you get, the more garbage we think your team is. Okay. We're going to start with the highest total score. All right. And the highest total score is 50. Anybody want to guess who that belongs to?
The Jets.
Patriots.
Jets. Sucks.
Jets. It's the Jets.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I'm going to let one of you guys guess. The next total score is actually no guessing, but is pretty damn close. The Patriots come in with 47 points.
It's not surprising.
3 points away from the Jets. All right, I just want you guys to keep that in mind. Okay. All right, the Dolphins come in second place with 33 points, and then the Buffalo Bills
That's
are
a
in
damn
first
gap.
place with 20 points. So there's a story being told here. It looks like there should be a very large, as you said, Izzy, a very large gap in between these scores here. So we look at this and Jake, what do you think about this overall score here?
Just give them to me in order one more time. So
Jets 50, Patriots 47, Dolphins 33, Bills 20.
Well, it doesn't surprise me because I think the Bills have just the best overall defense out of all of them. But the Dolphins, again, I think all of these teams are still going to have respectable defenses. Every single one of them are. So for us to have to rank them, while the Jets have a 50, that's just because in some positions they were the worst in the AFC East. But compared to other teams, they're nowhere as close as being bad. So I think that all of these teams, while, yeah, we can all bicker and argue amongst fan bases of who's got the better positions and what, they're all going to be pretty good defenses. And some are going to be damn good defenses. So, I'm very excited for all of these. I think all of these games, at least defensively, are going to be smash mouth. At least on the lines, maybe not as much in the secondaries because Josh Allen tends to be the type of quarterback that can expose secondaries a little bit more, while other quarterbacks maybe not as much. But no, dude, I love that this ranking was much harder than last week. I'll give you that.
Absolutely. Yes, it was. Charlie, what are your thoughts on just this whole rankings? Like, I kind of want you guys to speak to like the Patriots. Like, I know kind of people have been like, oh, the Patriots aren't going to be that good this year, but like they're legitimately looking at like a not great roster here. So like, what do you think about them?
Yeah, I think it's weird to me. Not weird. It's interesting that the Patriots and Jets are so close, and it's really like, to me, sort of like two ships passing in the night. With the Patriots, to me, are in a downturn, and the Jets are sort of in somewhat of an upturn. And to be fair, I think that both the Jets and the Patriots end up also with top 10 draft picks. And like I said, it's just a tale of two teams. Like, obviously, if you're a New England fan, you're very disappointed. And if you're a Jets fan, I don't know if you'd be disappointed, right? I mean, like, if like they might pick 10th, you know what? But and it was funny because on what was it, Draft Dudes today, they were doing a thing about all that stuff, and they, if you win 7 or less games, you're picking in the top 10. So if the Jets win 7 games, that's pretty good, right? Like, so certainly they've got a lot of stuff to be excited about. And I think as a Patriots fan, I know they always seem to be excited, but how much do you really have to be excited about? You've got to be somewhat demoralized with just the way things are going. You're so successful for so long, and genius. He's a genius. He's a genius. No, he's not. Like, he's not a genius. Like, he's average. Like, he's not the best head coach ever. Like, sorry, he's not the best head coach ever. Loses Tom Brady, and suddenly he's like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
I agree with you. I'm laughing because I agree. It's not laughing at what you're saying.
What are you doing?
We're bringing this back up on another show. We're definitely going to do that. But before we get out of here, we got to get Izzy's thought. Izzy, can you speak to the Jets and just like how close they are to the Patriots and how much of an achievement
I
is that for them?
I think they're better than the Patriots, honestly.
My
I think
man.
they're better. I think they're better than the Patriots. I think the Patriots are really going to be in for a rude awakening when they wake up in that cellar at the end of the season, and it's going to be a beautiful thing for everybody in the AFC East, not just us. Granted, I don't care because at this point in time for the Bills, beating the Patriots is no longer an achievement. We're expected to win. It's not a thing. Like 2-3 years ago, it was like, we got to beat the Patriots. We got to beat the Patriots. Now it's like we played you twice in a row. We shut you down, and we didn't punt or turned the ball over once in 2 straight games. Like the one game you beat us in, there was an anomaly because there was a freaking snowicane that happened in Buffalo, and you got us. And there was a defensive pass interference that wasn't called against Dawson Knox, and it's because he's probably so damn big. And what it boils down to is the Jets are making moves to go forward. They have a GM who's making smart decisions, like drafting a Sauce Gardner and not taking an offensive lineman who's ranked as a 3rd or 4th round pick in the first freaking round, and trading back for him and trying to look smarter for it. No, you're an idiot still. Sorry. You don't. The Patriots, as Charlie's told us many times before in the past, the Patriots do not draft well in the first round. They just don't. They miss more in the first round than any other team, as far as I can remember what Charlie's told me. They got Bill
their hit
Belichick's
rate
dog.
was 44% before they lost Tom Brady. So the value of all the players that's still on that roster has gone down. Because
decreased.
Right. So, sorry, just for clarity.
No, I'm with you. I'm quoting you because I remember you talking in the past as to how Bill Belichick fails at drafting players. But he's a solid coach, and he can make some players who aren't that good better at certain positions, but he's just not that great at being a defensive coordinator. And without Tom Brady, he hasn't won a damn thing. In fact, he has a losing record. Right? So, and then Tom Brady leaves him and takes another coach who's never won a Super Bowl ever and wins a Super Bowl with him. And then now that guy's canned. Why? Because Brady wanted it so. It is what it is. That guy's no longer in a division, and we almost beat him last year in a comeback. Call it what you want. But the Bills are clearly,
it a comeback, though.
Yeah, don't call it comeback because we didn't win.
Because he's been there for years.
He's been there for he was there for a year at the time. But we'll call it what you want, Charlie.
We're definitely going to be coming back to that Bill Belichick discussion.
Yeah, the Bill Belichick discussion to me is it's not really a thing to me anymore because clearly it wasn't the Patriot way, it was the Brady way. The Buccaneers are doing it now, and I don't think it matters who their head coach is because Brady's going to be running the offense, and whoever the defensive coordinator is going to run the defenses. It is what it is. When it boils down to the AFC East, though, the Bills are clearly the class of the division. We have the best quarterback. We have the best defense. We have the best skill positions. We have the best pick a lane. Like our corners are probably the best, but we don't know for sure. So we downgraded them to number 2. Right. We had probably the best offseason of the entire division. We had one of the better drafts in the division outside of the Jets, who had an amazing draft, which is why I'm so praiseful for the Jets because as of right now, if they don't miss on these picks, they're set up for the future for a fact. And I think that they're going to be our biggest rival in the division going forward. Not the Patriots, not the Dolphins. The Dolphins spend all their money now, and they're going to blow the wad because their quarterback stinks. It's a real conundrum to be in for everybody else, but not the Bills, because we're the favorites to win the Super Bowl and no one else. So what it boils down to is when our guys pan out, not if. So go Bills, and everybody else, good luck, I guess, except the Patriots because I hate you. I hate you. And the Dolphins, honestly, I don't like getting better because I grew up in the '90s. So screw the Dolphins and the Patriots. The Jets I hate less. Yeah, I mean the Jets I hate less because they've been trashed since like my whole life.
F that. I hope you go.
Yeah, the Jets. The Jets have 4 division championships in 50 years. So I mean,
look, we just feel bad for the Jets. That's it. You're just like
I don't
they're
care.
like the little brother that you're like, yeah.
But they can't all go 0-17. They can all go like 3-14.
I don't wish failure upon I wish nothing but failure upon every other team in the AFC.
They would all have to split against each other and then lose to us.
I hope they all
and then
lose their money, like their contract. Like I legit
we don't want them to all go 0-17 either. What we really want them to do is to keep trying to fight us every single year and win like 6, 7, or 8 games. And then just like be in the middle of the pack.
What we did for 17 years.
Exactly. That's what we want. That's
7 games, bitch.
All right, guys.
Get a middle of the round pick.
All right. So we have been here with you guys. We just did the AFC East defensive positional rankings. So we have completed the defensive side. Maybe me and Jake will come back and do the special teams, like to begin another show or whatever. So you never know who you might see on one of our programs.
I'm gonna rank all the gunner units, every single one of them.
Exactly.
Ours is the best though.
Yeah.
Taiwan Jones, Saran Neal. I mean,
No, that's spoiler, man.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You never know. Who will be on the program as always. But yes, man, we wanted a big shout out to my man Izzy over there. Follow him on Twitter, TFP Rican, that freaking Puerto Rican, of course, Izzy, our brother. Go support him as well. Sundays at 7, the Red Zone Report. And thank you for dropping by, Izzy. Of course, go support Charlie as well and everything he does. The Humble and Hungry podcast, Trust the Podcast Analytics, and 12 Square. Everything, man, everything. Go definitely check out Charlie. Follow him on social media as well. TTP_Charlie. Listen, Jake Jordan. We got so much stuff coming. Make sure you guys listen to the Lowdown every Friday. Tune in every Friday to First Round By as well, of course, and Sundays. 1 p.m. Madden cast. All right.
Hell yeah.
This week we got the Tennessee Titans, and we don't know anything about the game, so we can't even give you guys.
All I know is I've got the file on the flash drive I've been fiddling with this whole show. So that's the only thing I know about this.
All right, then yes, make sure you go give Jake a follow at the Jake the Bills fan, and tune in Sunday as well, guys. It's always fun. We might start throwing some comments in there, maybe. We'll see what happens. But also me, you know what I'm saying? I'm Justice General. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. You can follow me, Justice General. Make sure you guys tune into Justice for All Tuesday nights at 9, and also, again, I'm going to be, the one of the hosts of the Madden cast with my man Jake. So we might have some special guests. You never know what'll happen. All right, at the fan base, okay? Because we doing crazy stuff. All right, we got like stuff coming towards y'all. All right, I was trying to sound
might I give a suggestion?
Well, I was trying to sound. What was that? Italians?
I don't know. You sounded like a robot to me. You were cutting in and out.
Damn, that's terrible.
Molto bene.
Might
I give a suggestion?
What is your suggestion?
Since you guys are doing the Madden cast on Sunday, what you do is you go into the game settings, you turn the commentators all the way down. I haven't watched one yet, so I don't know if you've done this yet. Turn the commentators all the way down, and you commentate the game.
That's exactly what we're doing.
He just completely described the Madden cast.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
That's
all right,
what we did.
Make sure you guys tune into that. And we want to thank you guys as always for tuning in and chilling out with us. You guys know we appreciate every single like, comment, subscription, retweet, share, repost. Slap the like button. All right,
slap it.
Tap it a little bit. Just, what I'm saying. So we appreciate you guys coming through. We appreciate these guys for coming through. You guys know, every single Friday night we here for you guys, and we're gonna hold you guys down. So make sure you guys tune in as always to the original Bills Mafia Network. This is the Buffalo FAMbase. We are out. Go Bills.
Props to you guys. Go.